dubs.
No cap. No. Jose gets 10 kills one night, then he doesn't get any kills the next night. It was insane.
I don't think I got one last night.
It was insane. Jose had 0 kills. It was crazy.
I think I did too.
It was crazy and awful in the gulag. I've never seen him perform so bad.
Very true. So my wife said.
The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast.
Is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days.
Hosted by a group of best friends. If you'd like to find out more, visit nerdchatmedia.com.
This is Cortana. And remember, don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. As always, Spartans, see you online.
It's not first.
Oh, hello. Daddy Diwali here. Welcome to the Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast. Got cut off there a little bit. All right. My name is Daddy Diwali, and I can't wait for The Last of Us Complete Remastered Edition whenever they release that in a couple of years here. Joining me, as always, is God bless CMOS. Jose at Chipotle Bear. How are you?
I am much better right now. Like literally adrenaline is spiked. I was telling Chance and Bacon right before we went live. Last night, as we heard in the pre-show, we were playing Warzone. Fun night, not a great night.
Oof.
And
was it fun?
I had a great time, but we lost every game. But after the last game, I was getting ready to go to bed, and as I was getting ready to like put my computer to sleep, the little thing popped up, said, "Hey, you have a Windows update." And so I thought, oh, let's do that right now, so it's not an issue because we're recording tomorrow, like whatever. Sure enough,
oh my god,
my computer froze like mid update, and like this is like, mind you, 11 o'clock my time, which is like that's when I go to bed, so it wasn't a huge deal, but it was not
PC
working.
gaming.
I spent like another hour last night trying to find my boot drive and trying to do resets and getting in the BIOS, and I was like, what is going on? And of course, I got to work today, so I went to bed grumpy, woke up grumpy. And it's, it was a day at work, and then got home and I was like, okay, I'm going to try all these things because I've been chatting with Bacon and stuff and couldn't get it to work. Like I was fully set up to run from my Mac tonight, which is fine. I was just grumpy because I also would like to play games this weekend, and that this is in the way. Sure enough, good old Bacon was like, did you reset the CMOS? And I was like, dude, it's a Windows update. That has nothing to do with my board. Sure enough, fixed it up. Ready and running here tonight. So I'm light as a feather. Might as well have just taken a poop. Happy to be here.
Nice, very nice. And speaking of fixing your CMOS and resetting your motherboard, X Bacon Gaming, the greatest week in sports. Oh God, how are you?
Yes, anyone venturing into PC gaming, if anything ever happens, first thing you should always do is reset your CMOS.
I don't know what that is.
Wipes all the commands your motherboard is getting, and sometimes when there's a Windows update, it's writing stuff and telling your motherboard to do things, and sometimes it doesn't work. So if you clear that, it basically resets any commands that are written to it.
Pro strat there, folks.
If you have a overclock that's not working, anything like that, clearing the CMOS basically is a factory reset, but it doesn't reset everything, but it just wipes clean slate and you can start again. Anyways, happy greatest week in sports because this is Masters week. This is the Super Bowl. This is the NBA championship all wrapped into one because Masters week is the week in sports. Let's go, Rory McIlroy.
Dang. Sweet. And Bubblewave, go move to the side there. Get your cool background in here. It looks incredible, guys. If you're audio listeners, he has got some sick 3D printed Destiny. I'm shocked at that. Gears of War. I don't know what that furthest to the right one is. Mass Effect, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy VII. Hold on. Halo, Skyrim. Witcher. Oh, Forza Motorsport. I wish it was Forza Horizon. I'm not gonna lie. Really? Assassin's Creed, Valhalla. That is God of War. Go to the left again. Is that what's the Japanese symbol? Is that supposed to be like Ghost of Tsushima or something?
That is kanji in Sekiro when you die.
Oh, that sucks. What was the furthest to the left again?
Psychonauts.
Mortal Kombat.
That's Psychonauts? Oh, I see the brain now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of if you were here, you'd.
That's a
see
great
that.
one. I mean, guys, one of the games of the year 2021. What a year.
Yeah.
My God. What was the furthest one past The Witcher? I didn't see that. No, other way. Mortal Kombat. Oh, it was
Mortal
Mortal Kombat.
Kombat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But and then there's a heart symbol with the 3.
Oh yeah, Jose. I was okay. It's kind of small.
Is that a Kansas City? Don't tell me that's a Kansas City Chiefs
No,
symbol.
so it's a heart, a lightning bolt, and then a eye with an X in it.
Oh, what are
What
those
is that?
symbols?
You tell me.
Oh, I know this. I
What
know
game?
this. I know this.
What game? Chat. What game?
Oh,
Don't tell him, Jose. He'll get it. He'll get it.
I can see it. I don't know. Just tell me. It's gonna piss me off. Just tell me.
No, we're gonna let the chat figure it out.
Oh, that
I'll leave it
eye
right there
symbol
on top
goes
of my
it.
shoulder.
Get that eye symbol gives it away.
Yep.
God, what is
Dead
that?
eye.
Oh, Red Dead Redemption.
There you
we
go.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, Bubble Boy N7, take that L on the way out. How are you?
Good. I thought Bacon was just talking all the shit in the world about Mike Malone getting fired when you said greatest week in sports. I don't care who you are, how you feel about the Nuggets. Huge shout out to Mike Malone, greatest coach in Nuggets history.
You will never buy a drink again in Denver. We love you, Coach Malone.
So
Brought us our only
Take that L on the way
NBA
out.
championship.
Oh, here, let me do it again.
Take that L on the way out.
Yep. That is Mike Malone talking to Lakers fans. Take that L on the way out. We're not a sports talk show, so I'm not going to talk too much about it.
It
But
could be though.
yeah.
We're a little late to that.
Regardless of what you
Well, we're
think,
late to this too.
that dude brought us a championship and deserves to be respected. So.
Shout out Mike Malone, Coach Malone. We love you, brother. Good luck. You go win another championship somewhere else. Shout out to the chat, Nero Primera, Gentle Stone, Nissa, Freight Conductor. Shout out to Sick as Caca, Game Positive Boys. I've unfortunately caught the dreaded daycare flu. My throat hurt and hurts,
like the
nose is
dollar
stuffed. If I don't make it, I just want you all to know that I love you guys and Bacon can have my physical game. So, I mean, Bacon, you're going to get a physical game collection, even though you hate it. I mean, at least you're going to be able to make money off of it.
You know how long it would take me to catalog and sell all that?
Oh,
They're all Canadian. They're all Canadian editions.
Exactly. Get rid of that. Shout out to the chat, guys. Let's jump into the show here, Jose. We're gonna switch it up and go straight to Xbox news for the week, Jose. We're getting right into the news.
News team, assemble!
Switching it up. News story number 1. We've got another double feature this year. Mark your calendars for the Xbox Game Showcase, followed by the Outer Worlds 2 Direct. Boys, shocking. I am shocked that we are getting the Outer Worlds 2 Direct. They are that confident. And Obsidian doesn't miss, Jose. Seriously, my God. The First Avowed, Loved Avowed, and Outer Worlds 2 Direct, these guys are cooking over there. They are our, Insomniac Games. So, Bacon, are we going to join everybody at the... Oh, wait. There isn't a Fan Fest announced as of now. As of now, they did say that they are working on a Fan Fest type event. This isn't going to be, a traditional, we're going to show this event in the theater, but they're still going to try to have a Fan Fest event because I guess it's the 10-year anniversary of that. So, no, guys, we don't have a Patreon raising thousands of dollars like King David and the Iron Lords or XEP and Luke and Logan, so we can't go.
But go support them. They're still help Luke and Logan get there for the record.
No, support us. Don't support them. They've got enough support. Just kidding. We don't have Patreon. So I'm assuming we're all going to be there. Oh, I didn't even say it. The date. It's going to be Sunday, June 8th, 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Sounds like a live stream for us.
Sounds like a live stream. Bacon. What do you think we're going to see there? I mean, what's going to happen?
I love this format because the fact that they're going to put they do this extended thing on the back end, a whole nother show. That means it's not eating up main show space. So that tells me Xbox has a lot of games to put in front of us. The last one was probably maybe one of the best E3 presentations I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to top last year's. Let's be real, boys.
I don't think you can. That
unless there's secret drops, day one drops.
I'm excited. I didn't care for Outer Worlds 2, but I wasn't a huge RPG guy at the time when that came out, so I might give it another shot. But again, I do echo the sentiment that Obsidian doesn't miss. So
Obsidian doesn't miss, Jose.
But so good. We know there's a show. We don't know if PlayStation's gonna have a show. Maybe they'll have to show that Remaster Fest on. Oh, and I was told one of our new subscribers.
Bacon, keep it on Xbox right now, okay? Can we just keep it on this console and publisher that makes games?
I got a shout. My wife got some constructive feedback on our show from a new subscriber, one of our coworkers. Apparently, he's a PlayStation player, and I'm pretty mean to PlayStation. So I was told I need to issue an apology. I'm sorry, PlayStation players. I'm currently playing.
I'm not sorry. PlayStation has no games, Bacon. They only brag about playing Xbox games.
Okay, I retract my
apology. They only brag about paying for $100 deluxe edition of games that were released 6 months to years later. They only brag about playing those types of Xbox games.
It's true. But again, back on the topic, I am super excited. I love showcase season. Let's get this done and win.
Dinero Primero coming in hot. PlayStation has a show, Bacon. What are you talking about? It's called the Xbox Showcase since Xbox is third party. Sure. Jose, he's absolutely
Sony's
right.
He's also third party. So just gonna put that out there.
He's absolutely right.
Bubble Boy, are we going to this show in 2026?
Sure. Let's mark it down on the calendars. 2026. Okay. You got it.
Maybe we'll get press passes.
Any predictions or what we're going to see here?
Oh boy,
Tony Hawk.
Some more from Fable. I hope.
Yeah,
right.
Probably.
I know.
Here's the thing about Fable. Are we sick of seeing it already? Shouldn't this game come out?
What are you talking about?
Send us more.
No, but that's what because the last one was so awesome looking. Like, if they don't, I'm not gonna be upset. What would really scare me is if they're just like put something out there that looks awful. I don't think that's gonna happen, but
not anymore.
No.
Dinero says Gears E-Day.
Gears E-Day would be
Gears E-Day coming out 2025. Holy crap. The year of dreams.
Yep. And then it'd be just because I'm always waiting for it, Injustice 3. Like, if we could ever get back in Injustice 3.
I love it. I love it, Chance. That's a great copium right there. I love it. Jose, what about you? Are we live streaming this? And give me one game prediction you think we're going to see there.
I would love to live stream it. We haven't done that in quite a while, and maybe it'd be fun to do
since the last one.
Shows.
Yeah, we did.
We don't do that very often. There are other shows and like awards and stuff that have happened.
It's on Thursdays and stuff.
Yeah, that's it. So it's nice that it's on a Sunday. I don't know. I haven't really looked into a lot of predictions. Honestly, I just have been so thrilled with the release cadence for this far in the year.
Too many games.
We're mid-April, and my back catalog is already so.
Is Doom this month?
It is.
Please.
It's that quick, and like I still have to finish.
Doom's in May.
Talk about that.
I
thought it was April.
I think it's May.
No, it is May. It is May because Claire Obscura is later this. Claire Obscura is later this month. That's what it is. He's right.
Even that, dude. Like Doom is May. Claire Obscura is right after that, dude. And then we're barely into the summer. And so what I think I'm most excited for, what I hope is that we do the same thing here at this showcase, right? They say here's our releases for the end of the year, and it's like banger every couple of months or like month and a half. That would be an incredible way to end the year. And then of course I would love to see some stuff about E-Day and upcoming stuff. Honestly, though, with this announcement, what I was more excited, if you're part of the FanFest Insiders Club, is you got your code for your 20% off in the store.
20% merch.
And I don't know. Have you guys looked at some of this stuff?
No, I can't.
I'm gonna look at it in just really quick. I gotta show you just two quick things. Sorry, it's tiny on the screen here. Look at this Halo 2 hoodie. It's literally got the needlers on the arm because it's dual wielding.
No, those are the plasma rifles.
Or plasma rifles, but that's freaking sweet, dude.
$75 is not cheap.
No, but you get 20% off with that.
They're dang you tariffs.
Where did
and then
this
there's also
phone
like
come from? I
Lancer
didn't-
hoodie or the Lancer
this
shirt with just the gears
email I
symbol is super
deleted?
cool.
Dang
There's a bunch of like Sea of Thieves stuff that's
Ooh,
brand new.
that's
So
these one's pretty cool.
man, there's some really, really rad stuff.
Logan
So
has to get on that.
again, if you're not an insider, if you're not part of that, just sign up for the emails, dude. That's literally all you have to do. There's no special thing. You don't have to be a podcast host or anything like that. So go check it out. And yeah, the bomber jacket they had last year is still in
Nissa
there.
wants the
It's
bomber
on sale,
jacket.
from last year. It's like actually like $50 off or something like that. So
Diego coming in hot. He says he wants Blade Gears E-Day. Nissa wants Winterboro release date.
yeah.
Any
Gene will have that for a
hardware
long time.
teases? Here's my prediction. Here's my hot prediction. Phil Spencer comes onto the stage and he goes, on our platform, we let the games do the talking. And then he just walks off and it goes straight into bunch of incredible games, of course, that are coming in the future. And then Shadow Drop, Oblivion Remastered announced. It's out on Game Pass today.
You think he also mentions that our games are still $70 instead of 80 or 90?
We want you to enjoy your games anywhere you want.
No, because our games aren't made in America.
If you want to enjoy them at the sweet price of $20 a month, come join us. Otherwise, wait 6 months to a year plus, and you can pay $100 and brag about them on your PlayStation consoles. Guys, that has been the...
My prediction is Tony Hawk 3 and 4 will be there.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good one.
Did that
Taco
I'm
get-
going to
Bell.
win a point for this one, I promise.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have to do predictions later on.
Yeah, hold on. Injustice 3 is not a prediction; it's a hope. I'm positive it's not coming. I'm just gonna be beyond excited if it does.
Let's move on to news story number 2. We were talking about it last week. Switch 2 pre-orders have gone dark. Shout out to Jose for this incredible thumbnail this week. The delay has happened due to the tariffs, but guess what, guys? Tariffs canceled. The biggest jump in stock market history.
Most of them, not all.
That was me. I did that.
Big money.
That was me.
Market manipulation, anyone?
It wasn't China. That was
didn't-
me.
So
We're back, baby. We're gonna get those pre-orders coming in next week. Trump is responsible for the biggest jump in stock market history. The rich gets richer. What a great couple of weeks. Am I right, Bubble Boy?
Yeah.
He's also responsible for the largest drop in history. So
Oh, weird how that got.
Biggest growth, Bacon. That was me. I'm responsible.
I wanted to put this on
F-47
here
fighter jets. Name them after me.
because it said the delay hits Canada too. And
Sixth
so
gen fighters. That was me.
I think we were hoping that at least Eric could get one for us and tell
Ship
us
them
all
down
about
to
it.
us?
But yeah, he ain't getting one either. So, because Daniel, I know what you believe, but do you actually believe that we aren't just going to be ping ponging our way back through
every
this
90
tariff
days.
stuff?
Every 90
Yeah.
days.
Let's focus on
when
Nintendo here.
Switch
I
3
think
comes out?
Nintendo needs to put the pre-orders out, and let's get this show on the road. Especially now since it's 90 days, and that covers the time from now until release, so there shouldn't be an issue there.
True.
Let's get the
Yeah.
show on the road.
Is it
But here's
July?
the interesting point I want to throw out to you, and I got to shout out. Of course, I forget who was talking about this week. Oh, Iron Lords. They killed it this week discussing it. Shout out to King David. Shout out to Addict. They actually brought up some good points. Guys, do any of you know how much the Switch 2 price is in Japan?
$300.
$339. Okay. Everywhere else, $450, $500 equivalent US dollars, right? Can you imagine if Xbox or PlayStation were to do the same thing? Can you imagine Xbox saying, hey, if you live in the United States of America, our box is only going to be $350. Everywhere else, it's $500. Can you imagine that?
Sony did that with the PlayStation.
No, that was a slight price increase. That's not the same as launching a console $150 more than in your native country. Can you imagine if Xbox pulled a move like this? How much hatred there would be on the internet right now. It's absolutely insane. You Nintendo fanboys are insane. This is what you get. I'm not even mad about the prices anymore. The way Nintendo knows they've got you by your balls. Because they can be like, oh, guess what? If you live in Japan, you're in our native country, cheap Switch for you. But everywhere else, fuck you. Can you imagine?
No.
Bacon, back me up here. Isn't that insane when you really think about it?
That is insane. And the funny thing is after this price came out on Twitter, the apologist came out and said that's because of tariffs. That is not because of tariffs, because they had to delay the launch in the United States and then take account for tariffs. So this was their target price all along in the United States, because we're consumers here. We like to consume. We buy 5090s. We buy expensive monitors, and we pay the stupid prices.
Exactly.
That was their price.
There's the real price of the Switch 2, Bacon. $350.
They had to hit the e-brake. They're all, oh, let's hold this back because this is going to be a $700 console.
Jose.
I have to turn mine down too, Jose.
Am I crazy with my theory here with Japan charging a $350 for their Switch over there and then $450, $500 everywhere else? Is that, imagine, even if Sony, praise be Sony, pulled a move like that?
I mean, you're not wrong. Let me say that. You're not wrong that it is pretty crazy, with one tiny caveat. And it's a total, like, just a what if.
Erroneous.
It's fine. Both counts.
Objection.
What if, just like crazily think about this. I know there are Nintendo super fans. I know there are people that are going to buy this no matter what the price is or how hard it is. They're going to pay inflated prices on secondary markets and tertiary markets. Like, I understand there's that group of people. But what if this crazy thing happened where, because of tariff pricing, because it's really hard to get it from Nintendo directly because of all their stipulations with their requirements, and retailers are going to get very limited amounts because of tariffs, and not even just the tariffs, like there's whole shipping things you have to consider because, like, just the fees for boats and stuff like that. Like, what if in this world this thing launches and there was like almost zero demand from average gamers, which I would put us into for this, because we love Nintendo, we respect Nintendo, it was our childhood, and I know Dan says it would never happen, but here's where I'm going.
Because people, hey Nintendo, let me just take it from you right now. I'll just give you any money you'd want. I'll pay $800.
Like but dude, there's also upper limits of people's expendable income, and as much as we love gaming, and the four of us and a lot of our friends in chat and our community is willing to spend that because it's our hobby, there's a healthy number of people well beyond us that can't do that, even if they want to, because also, while things like Nintendo Switch are going up, so are groceries, so is rent, so are utilities.
Dude, groceries is an old-fashioned word. Stop with that.
Old-fashioned word.
Jose, Trump told me egg prices have gone down to the lowest ever. All right, everything is good.
Here's my theory.
Nobody even
What if
uses
Nintendo
groceries anymore.
What if Nintendo was making these prices lower in Japan because they're actually worried that Japanese consumers want a stronger system? And what I mean by that is they're competing now instead with like what is going to become the next Xbox, what is going to become the PlayStation, things like the Portal, things like the Ally, things like the Legion Go. Because I think realistically that while Nintendo still is at this weird echelon and it's on this pedestal that's very hard to bring it down from, the reality is that I don't think it has the strength that it always has. Like, yep, everybody's excited for Donkey Kong, Mario Kart. Me too. I'm part of that. But I also think that people, like a lot of the rhetoric, and shout out to Logan in the chat. He was in a couple of our shorts this week, and we got a lot of comments on our video here, a lot of them on TikTok. And a lot of people were like, I'm going to play literally like 2 games on Nintendo Switch, and so I'm going to wait. They didn't say they weren't going to buy it. They didn't say that they're against it, but they were like, I can't afford it right now. I'm going to wait for them to figure this out. I'm not buying it right now. And I just think what an interesting outcome if that's kind of what happens in the long run. And Dan's probably right. It probably won't, right? But that could be a piece of why they have to keep the price so low in Japan, because at that price, there's no reason why you shouldn't buy it in Japan. That's going to create frenzies of people trying to buy those consoles. So, Bacon, I know you had your hand up. I talked enough. What do you think, bud?
I have another conspiracy theory.
Hey, wait. Jose, put up the J.
Gotcha. Hang on. Coming. Keep
Coming
going.
with the J for juicy,
juicy
hot
takes.
and juicy take inbound. Here it is, folks.
So, in a real world, do any of us believe Mario Kart is worth $80? No, right?
Like Bowser says it is.
So here's a conspiracy
Mario
theory.
Kart
That they put
Horizon?
the price of this Mario Kart game at $80 to incentivize everyone to buy this $500 bundle. Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh yeah, they definitely want people to buy it. They absolutely they want people to buy that. And then that's why they want that bacon is so then you get the Mario Kart, and then you're going to be sucked into their Nintendo Online requirement for online play and for the future expansions for their games as a service. Freight Conductor says, "Do you think I can build a Switch with a Labo kit?" Probably. At this point, yes. The technology is so dated.
You can build anything you dream of, my friend.
Amen, brother.
Captain Logan says they have a direct on the 17th this month.
They're going to give us specs on that one, Logan.
No, they don't need to.
Did you see something from Digital Foundry just today? Said it's going to be the same as a PS4 power wise.
$500 in 2025 PS4 power.
But if it is the exact same power as a PS4, that's
Isn't that the same?
Impressive considering how small it is.
So is your ROG Ally.
That's what my wife says to me all the time.
Your Ally is more powerful than the PS4.
Well, all right, let's move on. We're going to get back to some more Nintendo talk here in a moment. Speaking of small handhelds, Project Cannon was teased, or Cannon. We didn't talk about this last week. Asus had this cheeky little tweet saying our little robot friend is cooking something up. And it's, to be honest, I think this little, I don't know what this is. It's heinous. It shows an Asus controller and the ROG Ally being fused together with this little robot, and then the Xbox had their little response with the monkey. What are you talking about? The same one that they used the meme for the Xbox Series S. Bacon, I'm going to throw it over to you here. Am I going to be trading in my Legion Go for whatever this bad boy is? Because I'm pretty sure there was another tweet afterwards that said something about everything's going to be improved. The chip, the battery, basically everything that I would care about.
Didn't they just do that with the Ally X, though?
Exactly.
True.
But
with X, do you think it's just going to be I was just going to say, do you think this is just going to be an Xbox?
With instead of having the Asus
branding,
the Asus, whatever the
colorway,
the system, when you launch it to pull up all your games, it might just push the button and it goes to Xbox.
The Armory Crate, you mean?
Like Armory Crate. But I mean, Asus branded, so maybe not.
Jose, go ahead.
Do you really think that after all this like hubbub about this portable device that they would just like bunt and basically like, yeah, we're just going to give you an extra sticker and like it comes stock with green RGB that you can change? Like, yes, I have to believe that Phil and Sarah and Greeny and everybody are like, we got to do more than that. And even honestly, I'm saying like
on it, it'll look Xboxy.
It will look cool. And I mean, dude, look, you brand it like the Master Chief controller that came out a couple years ago with like the gold D-pad.
Pretty sweet.
That's enough.
We're buying it.
I'm in.
$900. I don't care.
But I mean, like, I think they're smart enough to say, like, look, let's upgrade the RAM, let's upgrade the hard drive, let's do something additional, because they know that a bunch of our early adopters like us did buy the Ally, right? Or like the Legion Go or the MSI Claw or whatever. It's like I have to believe they're going to do more than just a sticker. I mean, I'm sure there will be a sticker. I hope there's a sticker, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know if this is more. This also might be not from Xbox directly, but it could be ROG saying we're getting direct integration from Xbox. Like that could be the announcement that it's not the Xbox version. It's just direct integration, so that like the Armory Crate button, maybe there's another UI that use.
Xbox has also made Windows has made inroads into the portable market, making it more controllable with the controller. So they've been doing all this to get the small form factor stuff off the ground. So
yeah.
Bubble Boy, before I throw it over to you, Bubble Boy, Gentle Stone says, I doubt it's better than what you have now. Are you referring to our current ROG
mine's
Ally?
a first gen Ally, so it's
they all have first gen. So I feel like the ROG Ally X is better battery life, a slightly improved performance. I did see it slight there. So I mean, if we get all that
with the one,
I don't know. Tell me your thoughts, Bubble Boy. What do you think we're going to see here?
You know what I want to see? What's the third hashtag on that right up there? Tell me what that says.
Next level game.
All your games.
That's the fourth. Play all your games.
Oh,
I've been touting this since this thing first came out. Which
and you
cannot.
What can you not play?
All the Xbox games that I own digitally. That
technically you can stream those.
You can.
that
You
aren't
should be able to stream them.
part.
That's on
of
Xbox. That's on
the-
Xbox.
They released this with Xbox. They like did a whole thing with Xbox. Okay.
I agree.
If
I
they
should
want to
play more.
tout it as play all your games, I should be able to play all my games. I also shouldn't have to do all of the crazy computer CMOS gymnastics that Bacon was talking about earlier. Just
That's
to
a
be
part
able
of
to play-
PC gaming.
There's no
just to be able
CMOS
to play
on your
Black
Ally.
Flag. I have to use the back bumper, not the right trigger, to run in Black Flag. Is it the end of the world? No. Does it bother me to the point where I'm not
plays Black
still
Flag?
really?
You can't you just rebind the buttons on
It
your
doesn't.
RGLA?
It doesn't. It was the same thing with Assassin's Creed 3. It doesn't recognize the full pull of the right trigger. I have looked up for hours and hours how to fix it. The only thing is to bind it to something that isn't pressure sensitive, and so I could bind it to the X button. I could bind it to LB, but I'm not going to do that. So I bind it to the back paddle. Again, not the end of the world, not a deal breaker for me,
Yeah.
but I'd love to be able to play all my games
Yeah,
like
okay.
they've been touting since they started this.
To be fair, I feel like of all the handhelds, you could basically play Steam,
Oh, it's
Xbox,
impressive.
Epic. It's pretty.
They should rebrand it to play all.
But no. You know
all-
what? I stand with ROGI because they don't owe anything to Xbox. That's an Xbox problem, Bubble Boy. That's not
Listen.
an ROGI problem.
Take that third hashtag away, and I have nothing.
Anyway,
Sure,
guys, what do you
Xbox
think?
paid for all the parts?
What do you think of Gentle Stone's theory here? I think it's going to be a mid-range Ally X equivalent for mass appeal. So cheaper.
It's got to
As
be
long
near
as
that.
it's cheaper than
Got to be
sure.
near that Switch price point.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is $800. So we're good.
Does it have to be though? What if it was 550 but it was better, like spec?
buy
That's a
it.
good point. I think that'd be good. Do we really think this is going to be at 550? Interesting, but why would they? When are we going to get more news? I want this stuff.
E3.
You think it's
I
going to
think
be
we'll get some stuff
Xbox?
Yeah, I
Summer.
mean,
Summer?
Nissa was saying maybe we get some hardware stuff there. So
That's a long ways away. Nissa, by the way, will you tell me what kind of battery life are you getting with your cozy games? Because that's
that's a
like
great
the one. That's the one thing, Nissa. I just even when I'm playing like Axiom Verge, which I
I only get like 2 hours in the
lot.
Electro. So
Yeah, it's like 2-3 hours max. And surprisingly, I've got Final Fantasy 16 playable at like a 25 FPS, but that's like an hour and a half. So Gentle Stone, then they'll go
2
big
to 3.
with the official Xbox Go in 2026.
I don't know if I like Xbox Go name
This is said that Ally she's only getting 2 to 3 hours.
because those fans are
No,
kicking.
the OG Ally. OG.
Oh,
Ally.
I'm talking about your new one. Most of the time it's plugged in. No, don't do that, Nissa. You need your battery to be wasted. Yeah, exactly. You gotta drain that thing.
I like this prediction from Dinero.
Yes.
Elite
Elite
V3,
version
dude.
3.
It's time. I've got some feedback. I'm gonna talk about the Elite later. Guys, let's move on.
More controller talk from Dan.
I'm shocked.
Wait,
You mean the new
no.
controller that I've been using? This PS5, the
I've
Scuff.
been using
I'm
mine.
just kidding. This
I've been
controller
using it
sucks,
before.
you
Using
guys.
it
I
for
hate that
haptics and
thing.
the big map button.
Hate that controller.
I turn on
It's
my
not that bad.
keyboard
It's not
doing
good.
this.
Guys, let's move on to news story number 4.
Is it 4 already?
Yeah.
Oh God, you guys. I just can't stop over there at Sony PlayStation. Naughty Dog has announced introducing The Last of Us Complete Collector's Edition, featuring a beautiful steelbook case, American Dreams comics number 1 through 4 with a new cover art and a set of 4 lithographic art prints. Pre-order exclusively through direct.playstation.com only in select countries. You know that Eric already pre-ordered this because he's a PlayStation simp and he's a Last of Us simp.
There's also a
and a
Neil
physical media
Druckmann thank
stamp.
you note included.
Oh, thank you, Neil, for the thank you note for buying your game for the 10th time. The 10th. Guys, I'm pretty sure, who was saying this? Was this in one of our Discords or was this 1H1D or so? I don't know. Somebody was saying somewhere that isn't this like, or maybe it was Diego. Is this like the 6th version of this game in like 2 years, or the Last of Us series in 2.
Sony can milk a cow.
This is genuinely insane. Like when you really think about these games and how many times we've gotten these games just in the past few years since The Last of Us 2's release, only less than 5 years ago, we've gotten so many versions of it. It's up there. Methcast said it was the 7th. Oh my God, because I'm forgetting from the PS3 to PS4. Oh my.
And then the remake, then the remaster.
Guys,
what Freight Conductor's on?
Freight Conductor said The Last of Us is the game of a generation because you can buy it every based Freight Conductor. Nissa, I need you to mod Freight Conductor right away. He's a perma mod for. Oh my God, guys. Is this worse than Skyrim at this point? Like, I think it might be, because at least with Skyrim, that was like spaced out, and that literally was coming out every generation because there was some sort of improvement.
Well, and they leaned into it, right? They had the Alexa.
Exactly, with the Alexa one.
Fun of themselves a little
yes.
bit. With this one, I don't. I think they're serious, right? Yeah. There's that board meeting, and all these other chumps are sitting around like, "What about new IPs?" But then this guy comes in and he's like, right? He is just and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna beat this bad guy again. We're gonna beat this boss every time because we got Leroy over here, The Last of Us, coming out for edition number 83."
Okay, Jose, what's your prediction? What are they going to release with The Last of Us Season 3? What edition are we getting then?
And a fridge somewhere.
I think they're trying to do a third game. Like I really think that's trying to happen between closed doors. And I know you're Hawaii. I don't even know the story.
Eric wrote in our Discord, that means The Last of Us Part 3 is cooked if they're calling this the complete edition. Do we really think this is the complete edition of The Last of Us?
They can add to it and then sell us the complete edition again, remastered 1 and 2.
Remastered.
I mean, here's the other part. So here's the other way to think about it. I know that Druckmann, and I'm not hating on Druckmann. I loved the first season. I've never played the games. If you've already heard from the show, here's the thing. What if they did it without Druckmann? And I'm not saying they should. That's let me be very clear. It's not that they should do it without him, but they also shouldn't have finished Game of Thrones without George R.R. Martin. And they did. Why? Because they made a buttload of money. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that Druckmann's like, I either want to do something else or I don't want to finish. I don't want to write another story because it's where I like it where it ended. And they're like, well, too bad. We own the IP. We're going to do this with it. That always could happen. Now, again, I don't want it to do that because I think when you take that away from the original like kind of creator, it loses what it was meant to do. But it's always a possibility.
Who else is going to have sex with Abby other than Druckmann?
Okay, Nissa, I need you to put Bacon on a 5-minute timeout. I have no idea what
the game, Dan.
I have no idea.
So yeah, Night of Cypher Part 3 is just a revision of the first two. Maybe in Part 3 they'll do what Joel should have done, which was kill that little girl.
Yes, base. My wife agrees.
Please do not clip that.
Night of Cypher. The Last of Us Part 3 is a revision of the first two. And then Freight Conductor. Yeah, I saw Freight Conductors. I'm sorry, I meant for Freight Conductors. Freight Conductor said the complete edition Druckmann cut. There we go. That is going to be.
Have not done a director's cut of the last.
That is a good call. We're not going to call it director's cut. It needs to say Druckmann cut.
Diaries.
Just like the Batman one. What was that? The
Snyder cut.
Snyder cut. There we go. Based Freight Conductor on fire tonight. Congratulations to all of you guys that are going to buy Last of Us again for the 10th time. I played these games years ago when they came out.
Let me ask this because it makes me.
All right, last question.
It just released last week on PC, and now they're wanting me to buy it again.
That's a great point.
It just released last week.
You know this is going to come to PC, though, in 6 months.
So what?
They even made a Kojima director's cut for Death
How many
Stranding.
different Mass Effect trilogies would you buy?
All of them.
He already did.
But they don't release them every other year. Chance, there's the difference.
Fair. So I'm saying like
they released it 10 years later? I'll take it. I'll gladly take it.
And it's probably apples to oranges, but if this was the greatest game of all time to you, I could see
not.
it.
It's a good game, but
no,
it's-
exactly. I don't
yeah.
know a single
quite
person
enjoyed
who says that I enjoyed it too. But
I take this back. I think the first game is a great story, okay game. I don't think the gameplay in the first game is very good.
very dated gameplay.
I think the second one has great gameplay, solid story. Way too long. Way too long.
You just like what happened to one person in that second one.
No, I think Druckmann, I'm giving him credit here, did a great job showing us other sides that you just didn't think about in the first game, and it forces you into an awkward position to play through with a certain character, and then by the time you're at the end of it, Abby was right. That's all I'm going to say. And Abby also showed mercy multiple times. And if you want to hear more thoughts about it, go listen to Last Stand Media, Colin and his brother Dagan on Knockback. 7-hour podcast, Bacon, on The Last of Us Part 2. I will send it to your way that you need to listen to. 7 hours. It was actually
like Act 1 of Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, not even close. Anyway, guys, let's move on to news story number 5, guys. Bacon is always complaining about the PC cheaters that he's running into, claiming, they're hackers, and he's reporting them to Activision, but Activision wants you to know this, Bacon. Activision, this is coming from Charlie Intel, who reported from Activision's data. Activision says many players believe someone is cheating in game, but when in reality, the players are not cheaters. Over 60% of received cheater reporting of Call of Duty Warzone have been against console players. In Season 3, a kill cam has been updated with more info to help alleviate this. What does it say? Affected by unsuppressed weapon live. Wow, I didn't even know that. This is breaking news to me, Jose. That is actually very helpful.
Kill cams?
Well, I don't really. I need to pay more attention. So Bacon and Dr. Disrespect claiming that they're all these hackers. Nope. It's these console freaks who are on there with their Chronos Zen taking us out. So Bacon, defend your honor.
The Chronos Zen, I don't believe, is detectable. So
exactly. So technically,
multi-billion-dollar.
But 60% are console. These are not cheaters. That's over half are not cheaters.
We need to turn off crossplay.
We can't
just play with PC.
I don't think we can.
Oh no, he's right. No, I see the point he's making. He's saying we should only be playing against PC players, so we won't be playing these console freaks who play better than us on their PS5s.
I'm actually switching the controller tonight because I am so sick of this aim assist.
Bacon has mentioned that a lot.
Bacon hates the console freaks taking us out. By the way, I don't know if you should do that, Bacon. I've seen your sniping. You actually snipe pretty good with your mouse and keyboard. You're going to lose that sniping if you switch to controller. I'm just warning you now. Bubble Boy, you haven't even dropped with us. Do you have any thoughts on this, or should I throw it over to Jose?
Toss it.
Okay, Jose, what do you think? I didn't know this. I think that's really cool, Jose, the information. I'm glad you pulled that up on screen. Mm-hmm. I need to start looking at that because that will provide me with more information. Like, how did that guy kill me like a freak?
Yeah, if any of you are like on social media and you watch those shorts where like women are making fun of their boyfriends and husbands playing COD, like I saw one today where this woman is like playing bingo of all the things her husband does, like saying things like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that," or like, "What? That's not possible." And she's
what?
Like,
that's what I always do.
It's hilarious. That is also what our chat sounds like in Discord. And I'm not saying that they're wrong, Bacon and Dan and Deja and Eric when we play with them and Chance occasionally. Like, it is very frustrating when you think you're kind of in a fair fight and then like you just dropped like that. But I also just chalk it up to like, look, man, I've been having a great time in Warzone. It's a blast playing with my friends and new friends. That's really great. I'm also just not that good at this game, and that's okay. And like when we
hold on, I gotta stop you right there, Jose. Guys, the other night, Jose was killing you having like night of his life. He had like 6 kills, one and then 8 kills, and then the last game, 10 kills. I've never seen Jose get 10 kills in my life. And he had like 3,000 damage up there with Deja Vu. And then last night, I don't think he had a single kill in every game. He was getting annihilated and like embarrassing in the gulag. And of course, that's when I was actually getting kills, and I won every single my gulag. We couldn't even place in like the top 20, getting annihilated. So don't let Jose fool you. He's either a killer or he's terrible.
Yeah, if you remember that movie Dodgeball, that scene where like the guy with the glasses goes crazy for exactly one game and then he gets destroyed every other game.
It was crazy, you guys.
But
this kid's a freak.
I think honestly, Deja makes a great point, and that's where I was kind of going. Is that there are some cheaters in the game, but I think that it gets over-reported so much that people just assume anytime they lose, it's a cheater, and that's not true, man. Like that's just not how this works. And I don't lose sleep when I don't win games. That's not the point of games. The point of games is to spend time with my friends because we don't get to do it as often as we should. So, it's been super fun. And here's the way I look at it. And shout out to Activision. When we played Warzone in the last map, when it released with Black Ops 6, we couldn't get past like 10 minutes in the game. Like we just couldn't. We kept getting dropped on and destroyed. And so like this game, the first game, we're getting to like final circles. We've gotten second place like 15 times at this point.
I just frustrating
game. Don't get me wrong, but like it's been okay. Like it's still been all right. We're gonna be just fine.
I don't know, Jose. I feel like we were getting wins in the original Warzone. We have come close maybe like 2 or 3 times.
6 days.
I think we're getting annihilated. I think our old guy gaming is finally catching up to us.
Because we split up too much.
Yeah, that's the
I don't
problem.
even think we split up that much.
We have 3 and then 2 on 3 every time because someone's off triggering.
Because literally, like we're all in a house. Yes. We have all of our equipment. Everybody's got, revives. Everyone's got gas masks. And we're like, okay, we got plenty of time because we know the circle's going. And then eventually Dan's like, hey, I'm gonna go see what's in this bunker. Oh, there's a whole.
No, don't blame me for deja vu getting out of our TV room when we should have had the win. No, I'm not taking that. And then the night, guys, we were at airport. You guys, we were in the tower. We had it. And of course, the circle pulls to a team that's got cover and has a fence, and we had to jump down to it. It was the worst. And I'm sick of the UAVs. We're carrying airstrikes, and we need to use them. We need to use them when we know there are guys out there.
I agree.
Okay, pro strat. Yes, you deja vu.
Yes, you. Mike, bad.
Well, what did Dinero Paris say? 0 kills and getting annihilated. That would be me because I'm bad at those types of games. Yeah, well, I thought I was good, and I'm the same way, so it doesn't really matter. All right, guys, let's move on to news story number 6. We are cooking tonight. News story number 6. I wanted to bring this up because I saw this is getting rave reviews, and actually hot intel coming in from Captain Logan. He doesn't understand the praise that this one's getting. Blueprints on Game Pass, available Xbox Play Anywhere is out. Its Open Critic is sitting at 9 of the 1. I've seen so many people rave about this game. I saw Paris Lilly say this is a Game of the Year contender for him.
Dang.
Logan didn't like it so far, but I don't know. This is on Game Pass. I think it might be on PlayStation. I don't even know what they call it. What's their Game Pass? Whatever they have.
PS Plus.
Thanks, man. I really forgot it there. Bubble Boy, it looks like a puzzle game. It looks like a Gone Home, maybe. Are you going to play this?
Yeah, probably not. I definitely wouldn't have had I not seen all this hype for it. It just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't look like something that I would enjoy. Yeah. I can appreciate the art style. I can appreciate just how varied a lot of these environments look. Like there's some that look like you're in a castle. There's others that look like you're in an attic and then a warehouse. But sorry, I'd have to be real bored. I'm sorry.
I thought this was going to be you. Oh, sorry, probably.
Yeah, I thought it would be you too, bro.
Jose, you going to check out Blueprints?
Honestly, I didn't even know what this game was. I saw it mentioned in our Discord chat.
Neither did I.
Fun fact for people that, are not in that chat. Apparently no one works during the day because they come back to that chat and there's 100 entries and I just got done suspending a child. Yes. So I don't know how that happens. So I don't know anything about this game. But if you're like me, just a very quick synopsis. This is coming from IG from Tom Mark. Shout out. It says you play as Simon, a teenage boy who has inherited the stately mansion of his well-respected and somewhat eccentric great uncle, but may only claim that inheritance if he can figure out how to navigate the ever-shifting halls of the estate in order to find a hidden 46th room. It's a fairly simple setup at the start, and while there are plenty of helpful tips scattered around for you to find, they're largely just set loose to see what you can piece together. And it's
like a roguelike, but you every room you move into, it's like a puzzle and you got to keep going and some are randomly generated. And it sounds cool from that perspective, but I guess
the more that we do this, the more. Here's what's frustrating to me is I'm sure this is a cool game, and I'm not knocking blueprints. Don't think that, but like for this to get like in the 9s, and then there are other games that I'm like, that's a great game, and they're like,
dude, this is the second high. This and Split Fiction, highest rated games that come out this year.
I mean, and I'm not hating on either. They're great games, but it's kind of frustrating in terms of some of the systems that this happens. Again, I hope this does well. It's probably one of those I'll add it to my wish list, and if it's on sale, I'll happily add it and play it. I just have too many things to play right now,
bro.
It's on Game Pass. So
I don't have time to play
anywhere
right now on Game Pass, but it looks cool. I have to be, I think, in the right mood to play it. To be fair, that's all I have to say.
I got to shout out the chat here. De Niro's interested, but Gentle Stone said, this is the kind of game I'd watch someone play and I'd get stoned. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That's
Gentle Stone.
Gentle Stone would do that? I don't buy it. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
I don't buy
De Niro Primero, hey, at least Game Pass gives you the freedom to try it with no worry. No, yeah, apps. Dude, after the Nintendo Direct, Game Pass is the best value in gaming. We already knew this, and it's only getting better. Especially, it's insane this year. Absolutely insane. By the way, I think I convinced my neighbor, my son Grayson, his best friend Teddy's dad. I think he's going to be picking up an Xbox here. Hear that, Microsoft? I sold an Xbox over the PlayStation 5, and he's like, "Well, all I used to play was Call of Duty." I'm like, "Guess what? It's in Game Pass right now."
Does he want a used one?
Call of Duty. No, he wants to buy it. He's going to get a new digital
That's fair.
one. Sorry.
That's fair.
Selling your Xbox chance?
It's
How are you going to play Grand Theft Auto 6?
You're going to wait and play it the best version.
I think I'm going to wait 2 chance. I'll be honest. There's so many games. Quick Game Pass question. What's the most you pay? Funny you ask. I have interesting, completely objective data. So I told Teddy's dad, Peter, about it. And I'm like, he's like, well, what's Game Pass? Like $30 a month? He just said that out of nowhere when I explained to him the premise. So that might be the top amount. And I told him it was 20, and he's like, whoa. Absolutely, I'm gonna get
PC
that.
Game Pass is 12.
Well, he's not. He's gonna. I also talked to him about building a PC, and he's like, I just want it to be plug and play.
Yeah.
And he just wants to jump back in, just something simple. Play Madden, play FIFA, play COD, play some Lego games with the boy, play some Forza. Gentle Stone, the name predates my cannabis consumption by 5+ years. Learning something new about Gentle Stone.
Like we're best friends.
Lordum out here thanks to Season Gaming. All right.
Game Positive Digital. What do you mean? Yeah, why would he get one? I told him about the one with the Blu-ray disc, and he's like, I don't own any Blu-rays. I can't remember the last time I had. He's like, he laughed at me when I suggested, hey, maybe you should get the one with the Blu-ray drive. Literally, he's like, why would I do? I don't watch. Why would I do that?
Physical media.
Okay, we're not old boomers like you, Eric, who are obsessed with dying physical media. Okay. Oh, let's move on to the last news. Wow, 7 news stories this week, killing it. Somebody take this away. The Switch doesn't no Achievos for the Switch, and I just gotta say right off the top before I say anything else, why would you expect that? Who cares? They didn't have them on the first Switch.
Because listen, and I did the exact same thing too. Did you read the entire article? Did any of you read the entire article?
No, I just laughed at the headline.
Exactly. So tell me which.
Oh wait, I did know about this. I did read this about the phone achievements.
So tell me which president this sounds
Wait,
like.
sorry.
Right?
The smart glass achievements.
This is not a political show, but tell me what this sounds like. When Nintendo's vice president of player and product experience, when asked if they're going to introduce system-wide rewards for playing games, said what? Nope. No achievements. Nope. His only answer was nope. What we are going to do is add something to Switch 2 edition games that will have their own achievement lists, though they will be relegated to the mobile app. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will both get Switch 2 editions as well as this new app, and Nintendo has added achievement lists for both games. The achievements, tell me how crazy this sounds, will track things like weapons collected, the number of shrines completed, and other in-game metrics. Another achievement system, medals, will be awarded for reaching certain in-game milestones. Players can track their achievements against their friends and other players in the app. Now, let's go back, class, to the beginning of the lesson where we said, are we going to add things like achievements? What did we say?
Sounds like achievements to me.
We said nope, because achievements are for those losers. Xbox does achievements and Xbox can suck it. What we do over here at Nintendo, we don't need that. We're going to do something called
Smart glass achievements.
I'm like, just call it what it is. You're doing achievements. And
That is weird. The smart glass achievos, I'm not gonna lie, that's weird.
And why can't they
just put that on the game?
just do this? And why did he have to say nope?
Chance, I know why. They just got party chat in 2025. It's gonna take time to implement an achievement system. So you can expect that on the next Nintendo
And
system.
Logan and I had some really good conversations offline because I think he felt bad. But I was like, dude, I wasn't upset with you at all about our little back and forth last week because I'm upset for Nintendo fans. This doesn't bother me because I'm not going to be doing this because I talked to a few today.
Do you think they want achievements when they've never had them?
Some do. And they're saying that here. They're saying some players have been asking for this. And because I know it's not so Nintendo, the big corporation Nintendo, it's not on them to add achievements. It's on them to support the developers adding achievements. That's all they have to do is just say, we'll allow it. And for half of the games on the Nintendo storefront, they're already there for PlayStation and Xbox. They're just saying, here's the medium to do it through. This doesn't even cause them any work. They're not losing money on this. They're not putting extra effort. It's the developers that have to do the extra effort. And if they want all their first party games to only get these smart glass not achievements, great, so be it. But why do they have to be so
because they got everyone by their balls? But boy, I already explained this to you. Nintendo can do whatever they want, and the Nintendo fans be like, I'm just happy we got party chat.
Does it not remind you of I have a spine of steel and these tariffs are here for good. Actually, we're changing the tariffs. Well, you just said you had a spine of steel and you're not changing them. I never said that. Nope. What I said was, and it's like, can we just please go back to living in a world where we say what we mean and we mean what we say?
I will say this. I kind of agree with you that if they want to compete and not be, the joke third-party system where they are getting support from third party, they do want to compete with the Series X and PS5 directly. All of those systems do have an achievement system. So they probably, if they want to get more third-party sales, you're right. I mean, we've heard it here from Eric. We hear it all the time from Joe. They won't buy games even though they can play it right now on their Steam Deck or their Xboxes because they'd rather get the platinum trophy. For some people, achievements matter. I'm just not sure if the casual Nintendo audience cares about it as much as you want. And I'll be frank.
Would Grayson, would Penelope, would Scarlett? Probably not. But that's not the reason not to do it.
But here's the thing. I actually like that Nintendo doesn't have it because then when I go play games over there, I'm like, I don't have to worry about this. I know I'm a psychopath. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about it. I can just play this game and enjoy it.
Okay, so because we all know you're lying about that, but tell me about this when it comes to your Steam stuff. So Steam does not track
perfect game, Jose. Perfect game.
All Steam tracks is perfect games, right? In terms of overall, here's what I can go in and see. If I wanted to search, I can.
No, it shows your achievement percentage too.
Yeah, but you got to go into each game.
You have to go in.
No, it shows like your overall. If you can do one of your banners to show like what your completion percentage is.
I have to look pretty hard to find it, and
it's because Steam's not very.
And I can't just go and look at what you and I have gotten in certain games. Except for the perfect ones. And so what I've noticed as I'm replaying Assassin's Creed, I am like, am I going to get perfect on this game? No, then I don't need to worry about them. It's not going to bother me. If I'm playing the exact same game on the Xbox, I will go and get some of those extra achievements that.
Why does it not matter on Steam?
Because you can't tell whether or not I got it. You can't have that chicken dinner, or you can't tell that I got chicken dinner and you didn't.
I do if I looked up your achievements.
Not as easy. That's what I'm saying. Not as easy.
Whatever.
It's and there's not an overall. Hey, Bubble Boy in 7 has a Steam gamer score of 220,000.
I see. I hear you a little bit. I got to get the chat in here, Chance. Todd Oxtra is back. Todd's got you, Chance. He said, does Xbox or PlayStation have Amiibo support? He's got you. He's got you there. Nessa said, I convinced Joe to get South of Midnight on a Steam Deck. Nessa, he just did that to be nice, and he's gonna play it for a little bit, and he's gonna stop because he'd be like, I'd rather get trophies when it comes out on PS5. I hate to break it to you, Nessa. That's what Joe's gonna do. Mark my word.
Yeah,
Clip
and I'm
this.
sorry. In Amiibo, I got an old Nokia phone that does Amiibos. Like,
Todd Oxtra has 0 platinum trophies after 27 years of being a pony. Then you're not a real pony, Todd, as much as I thought you were. Not even one.
I don't have
Todd?
one either, Todd. I have
and
none.
that's fine.
One?
And I'm not saying you have to like them. I'm just saying there are a healthy enough percentage of gamers who do. Why can't Nintendo just say yes? And that's the hypocrisy of this article is they are saying yes, and they're unwilling to admit that they're saying yes, even as they are saying yes.
Just remember, achievements will be on the Switch. On the Switch 3. Todd Oxtra, trophies makes Bacon's life worse. He only likes to complain, Bacon. He likes
I'll
going
talk
for
about that
the
here in a
trophies.
minute, Ox.
Can you buy a platinum? Yes, apparently you can buy the platinum in Near Automata. You could like buy things, can't you, Chance? Can you like buy the trophies or something? Like you can buy the achievements
Not
to
that I
get
remember.
everything. Guys, let's move on to Nerd Chat Shoutouts, Jose. Shoutouts, are these coming from some of the shorts? Yeah, here's one for Logan. This comes from Hemo Core Kid 939. I'm with Logan. I loved the direct. It made me want to switch to when I was gonna pass. We'll see, Logan. You got one other fan
go.
out there.
Cool.
Tiki the Mighty. I'll buy the Switch 2 on day one so I can leave it in my closet until it is hacked. Then the $90 games will become $0 games. That's a pro strat. That was a pro strat.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
And shout out to Big Box 1431. To Big Box 1431.
He's looking for it.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Sorry, not used to doing that on Big Box. My bad.
Nerd Chat. Everyone is dogging Nintendo, but may I pose a question? And please correct me if I'm wrong. There are tons of enthusiast industries with wide variable pricing as well as higher end luxury items. Running shoes, guitars, mountain bikes, automobiles, cutlery, tennis rackets, ellipses.
The hell is
Am I wrong, or is every industry more interesting and healthier when companies are allowed to charge at a high cost to high-end items? Would any of those industries benefit from a low standardized pricing model? Ferrari, Lexus, Toyota, Chevy, Daewoo? Do you remember Daewoo? I don't.
I do.
That's a boomer right there, Big Box. Why must Nintendo stay priced as Chevy when they view themselves as closer to a Lexus? $80 is too expensive? No. $80 is too cheap. As Rocky Balboa once said, if you know what you...
Yeah, you've seen the movies.
If you know what you're worth, you got to go out and get what you're worth. That's how winning is done.
Shut the up, Gary.
I don't buy Nintendo games because I'm not 8 years old. But doggone it, this industry needs more Lexus, Ferrari, BMW type companies. Down with Daewoo!
First of all, I think Big Box might be one of the smartest people that's ever.
Big Box, Jose, we need to have Big Box.
Some people want to ride too. Pick them up.
Big Box, you need to get on the show already.
The
Go
way
ahead.
he
Big.
poses a question and always like
Dude, the
frames it,
context
and
is
the context and
supreme.
his analogies are like, hats off to you, Big Box.
So here's what I think. And as Bacon's the only owner of an actual luxury vehicle here, right?
It's
Two.
out of the
Have you
parking lot.
seen his Ram Bighorn?
Now you guys see my BMW, bro. It's
The reason, and I love his analogy, however, Nintendo is not the BMW. Nintendo
Day woo.
is the Daewoo. And I'm sorry about that. And you can argue
Maybe
all
when it
you
comes
want.
to hardware, but not their games. I actually can see what he's saying as far as when it comes to their
Can you
Nintendo
play
has
Elden
the
Ring
best
on your
developers.
Nintendo Switch
Yes,
Yeah,
you can. The
There's
Switch
a new one
too.
coming out.
right now? Can
No.
you play Mass Effect Trilogy on
I
your
did you hear
Switch?
what I said, Chance? I didn't say hardware. I said their software. Their games are definitely.
I don't think it is either. When you sit, and I've never sat in Nell's car, but if you sat in Nell's car, you'd be looking around like, holy shit, I got what I paid for.
It's fair.
Do you feel that every time you're playing a Switch?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
With your
yes.
PC, you're sitting there and you're like, wow, this is a luxury item that I paid.
Yes,
a luxury
but what
price
can
for.
my PC not play?
Mario Kart and Donkey Kong.
That's not true. You can emulate
You
it.
can emulate all of those games.
Legally, not backwards.
I just
Yeah,
I'm
emulate it.
probably being too hard on them when I say it's the Daewoo, but it's okay. What's the most? How about it's the Jeep? Jeep's probably the most popular.
Shout out to Logan. This is a good one. Nintendo's the
Nintendo
food truck. Xbox is the buffet. PlayStation's the steakhouse.
Logan, all they do
like
is
that.
remaster games.
I love the food analogy. I don't know if I agree with it. Let me.
Well, what do you think about Frankenstein? Said the car analogy is a bad one. Is they only make money off the initial sale unless it's a Tesla. It's okay.
Nintendo is cereal.
I love
They're
cereal.
all the
though.
same price.
Exactly.
You look
But
at
cereal and Xbox could be
then you're hungry
like a nice
10 minutes
omelet.
later. You're like, man,
Okay, I think we're deviating from the question.
Yeah. Anyway, Big Box. I'm going to bring it back. Big Box. I see what you're saying, and I actually kind of agree with you, Big Box. I do think Nintendo, as far as developing games is concerned, they do have the top developers, and there's a reason why they make some of the best gameplay only games in the world. Do I necessarily think that equates to $8 for Mario Kart? I'm not sure. Captain Logan would say yes. I think it's any game is worth whatever you're willing to pay for it. Now Diego's hungry. Thanks for all this food talk. Todd actually said, I think PC could be worse off than consoles, to be honest. All the components are prime targets. Game Positive, Sony Steakhouse serves microwaved, remastered steaks. That's exactly how I would put it. Good point. Good point. Eric.
Regurgitated steaks.
Jose, any thoughts on Big Box's comments here?
Yeah. So here's what I would say. It's a great question. Here's my concern with it, and I'm not arguing against Big Box. I actually think he makes some very good points. The reality is, despite what we believe and despite whether we play Nintendo a lot of people love Nintendo. And I don't mean just children. I mean, yes, they of course do, but so do many adults. And that's why
people like Eric
earlier in the show, when I said the thing about, what if that scenario happens where no one buys it? I don't really think that's going to happen. I really think this is going to sell gangbusters. I think it's going to be hard to find a Switch 2 for a very long time. And that in of itself has nothing to do with luxury. It has everything to do with demand. Right. And the reality is that when people demand things, the price of that thing goes up. That is basic economics 101. And here's the flip side of that, though. What if theoretically, or let me put it this way, when we were kids and we had like the Super Nintendo or the N64, we got like 1 or 2 games, maybe a year, right? Because one, they were very expensive relative to our budget, and we had to choose very carefully. But also they made way fewer games, just the quantity of them. And so the reality is, if we're in a world where we want many games and we want a variety of games, we ultimately need competition, which is what Big Box is talking about. But the problem is, if every game, and there's hundreds of games, charges $90, we're not all buying a bunch of $90 games. We're going to buy a handful of them. We're going to follow that model from when we were kids. And that's when companies go out of business. And that is what we have seen over the last couple of years. So I think that's more my concern. Not that Nintendo's going to go out of business. Nintendo's going to be fine. But when we talk about third-party games, which have been some of our favorite experiences over the last decade and beyond, that's where the price, I think, is what I'm really worried about. Otherwise, it's a great comparison. And he's not wrong. Like, despite the fact that we can all complain about the price of the Switch and the games, it's going to sell. Sorry, it just is, from lots and lots of people. And Nintendo's going to laugh their way all the way to the bank.
Freight Conductor just nailed it. That's the one I had in my head. Nintendo is the Chuck E. Cheese.
No, God, you guys are being too hard on Nintendo. I like what Freight Conductor said. PC is if you decide to open a franchise. I like that. Guys, let's jump into what have we been playing and or watching. Let's hear it, Bacon. You said you wanted to share something about your Spider-Man adventures. Go ahead.
Okay, so my new year's resolution of finishing games. I have not touched South of Midnight because I have to finish Spider-Man 2.
Neither have I. By the way, disclaimer, some of us have played it. Bacon, I have not. Guess what game I'm still playing, you guys?
Final
Final
Fantasy.
Final
16.
Fantasy.
We're almost at 50 hours. 5 hours of total gameplay. Go ahead, Bacon.
I love Spider-Man. It's my first ever platinum was 2018. I played the heck out of that game. Made the mistake of going into Miles Morales right after platinum that and was kind of over it. So I put Miles Morales down and have not picked it up since. I have to go back to it. There are such highs and fun and just great combat to be had in Spider-Man. And then I find myself in a side mission that is so bad, so mind-numbingly bad, and it breaks the pacing so bad in these games. Why can't the side missions just be just more Spider-Man? Why do I need to ride around on a bicycle? And now that I heard, I busted on that scene playing with the deaf kid, the deaf young lady, and then Joe told me his perspective. So I kind of pull that back a little because I've never played as a deaf person. I couldn't hear anything in my headphones and I'm spray painting on a wall. I personally thought it was a bad, terrible mission, but seeing it from someone else's perspective, then maybe I was a little too harsh on it. But all these side contexts that are required to get your platinum, and this is the problem with trying to get a platinum, you have to play these side missions that are just horrible. Like, Insomniac, I don't get it. But then you get into an action sequence or a boss fight, and there's an awesome cutscene, and there's just so much fun to be had. So I can't fully wrap my head around what they were thinking with these side missions. And again, it's the same, how many tankers can be on fire, and then you need to beat up all the baddies and then web the tankers before they blow up. There's like 30 of those. They reuse those all the time. I get that, but some, I don't know. So right now I'm sitting at 85 on that game because I do love Spider-Man. I do love that combat. And it is a heck of a lot of fun. Also been playing Warzone, of course, because we talk about it all the time. And I don't want to shame Deja Vu for getting us all kitted out, know exactly where the final circle is. And he goes wandering down the hall. What he was going for, no one knows. And he was dead in like 2 seconds. And Dan and I have to go out to try to save him. And then we're both dead. And he lost the game for us. It's just what it is. Warzone's fun. It's frustrating. And it sucks at the same time, but play more Warzone, people.
Yeah.
Bubble Whale, update us on your Assassin's Creed journey.
Yep, almost done with Black Flag. And I forgot all about. I was thinking, as I'm playing it, I'm like, I'm going to be into Unity next, but I won't. I'll be in Rogue next. I forgot all about Rogue, and I think that and Liberation were the only ones I never finished. I played Rogue for maybe like 10 hours and never finished it. I wouldn't even consider that playing it, but I don't think Black Flag's going to get the title. I don't think it can keep
Not
it.
surprising.
It's combat. When you play,
I love the combat. It's fun.
It is stale compared to 3. One of my categories is innovations, and it innovates the hell out of the naval combat. And I think they spent so much time and effort innovating that side of the game. The parkour seems almost like a step back, and the combat honestly feels like a step back too. So it's still a great game. I'm having a blast. Started South of Midnight, and the opening cutscene of that might have been one of the most beautiful cutscenes I've ever seen.
Actual stop motion one?
Yes, that looked real. Absolutely looked real to me. And I think the art style is just to die for in that game. I'm glad Jose brought up the stop motion. I turned it off immediately. It made me feel like I was playing at 15 frames per second, which is not what I want with a mega PC over here. So, but I am enjoying it. So
How many hours? How far?
I'm on, not much, maybe 4. I'm on chapter 3. So not super far.
Sweet.
Jose?
Wait, no, time out. Sorry. The latest episode of Daredevil, was it episode 7? Might have been one of the single greatest episodes of television I have ever seen. It is not my favorite. However, when you think about all the direction, the choreography of the dances, the choreography of the fight scenes that they did, the way the whole thing played out, I can't stop thinking about it. Has anyone? Bacon? You're watching it, aren't you?
No,
Are
I'm
you
not.
there yet?
I'm 2 episodes behind. 'Cause,
Okay, when you watch this one with the ball and it's episode 7, I just need someone else to watch it with me or after me so you can tell me what your thoughts are. Again, there's not any like holy shit moment, but when you look at it as a whole, I thought it was seriously one of the best episodes of TV I've seen since I can remember.
Nice. Daredevil is good.
Chance also said that about, oh no, was that Bacon about Halo episode 1 or 2, the Reach episode?
The Reach
Which one of you
episode
said
was
that?
That was a dope
fantastic.
episode, bud.
I'm sorry. That speech was fantastic. I am sorry.
Could have been me. It sounds like
That was a fantastic episode.
Okay.
You don't like Halo. Just say you don't like Halo, Dan.
Dan doesn't like Halo. Clip that.
I wanted to like that show. That first episode of season 2 was so sick. You got the grapple shot, the chief
You're telling me
shotgunning fools.
that episode was better than the speech?
Yeah, because he was actually in his
My
armor.
ringtone on my
He was
phone.
actually in his armor in the first episode. The entire Reach episode, he was not in his armor. Okay. Yeah, let's
He
just
is
call it
human also.
John 1:17.
He is
not
a human.
the Master
also.
Chief.
Was it episode 8, Todd? Let me see here.
He's not just a Spartan all the time. He has to eat and poop and do all those things.
Jose, take it away.
Have
What have you
life.
done? Tell us your thoughts on, because you're actually probably the furthest out of all of us
I
in
am. So
South of Midnight.
I bought the pre-order edition so that I could play it early. Not because I wanted to finish it. I know I was going to play a lot of Warzone because when it dropped, and I do want to play that game and enjoy it. But I'm having a great time. And here's what I will say: I've listened to a bunch of our friend shows. At the people that have played already through the game. Eric is a great example, and his review. I think Eric's score is right on. I think his critique was very fair. For anyone that's listened to the show for a while, you know that I'm not very harsh on games because I just play games to have fun and I don't care about achievements. And thankfully, I'm at a point in my life where I'm not super concerned if I buy a game and it's not amazing. I don't feel like I got cheated or anything. It's a very, of course, beautiful game. I think it's fun to play, but it's very straightforward. Like I cannot express to you enough if you've never started it. It's incredibly straightforward. Not only is it linear, but it's like they're not super long chapters. They're not meant to be super challenging. There's no puzzles in it. It's basically kind of like you point and click and you go to the mark and you hear the story. But I think the story is fantastic. And I think it's unlike a story that we've really seen in games from a cultural perspective. And we don't really touch on that a whole lot. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on that, but I can tell you it's from that thing. I have been just loving the hell out of it. I think the stories are incredibly compelling in it. Also incredibly messed up. Like I'm going to say that out front without any spoilers, but I think that's what makes it real and enjoyable. A lot of people's critiques about it are the combat, which is a totally fair critique. It's a very repetitive. You have like a set of 5 skills and you can buy a tree that like makes them stronger, which is fine. But they don't change. They don't get stronger. They don't get bigger. You play the same enemy types. And I do think from that perspective, it's deserved of that critique. I think that what I'm hopeful for, and I don't know if they will, and I haven't finished the game, so I don't know how it ends, but if they could make a sequel that kind of expands upon that, if they could make it a little more open world, if they could make it a little bit more of a skill tree, it would be an amazing game, like a high contender. I think it's fair to say it's probably not a game of the year contender. Unfortunately, I kind of wanted it to be just because of what the content is, but I'm having a great time. Just the reality is when you're going up against games like Astrobot and kind of their big thing, and you're going up against things like Elden Ring, which has insanely fun combat once you get used to it, and it's challenging and it's rewarding. This just isn't that game, right? This is more in the veins of like Crash Bandicoot from the gameplay perspective, not the story. The story's way above that. But it's cool. I highly recommend it, especially if you have Game Pass. Of course, go play South of Midnight. There's no reason not to. I am on chapter 7, like just starting chapter 7, and I'm at a part in the game where the story is really, it's in a cool place. I'm excited to see where the story is going to go. But from everything I've heard, it's going to be more of the same in terms of like progression. I think the cryptid thing is really cool. The way that they explain why they're there is top notch, dude. Like I think that part is really, really cool. So
yeah, I'm waiting for that because they haven't gotten there yet. So
I got it up right here. Todd Oxter, can someone mute Todd Oxter? He said, "Can Xbox games that better balance story and combat?" Dude, Todd, you liked Final Fantasy 16, which had the absolute worst balance of 0 combat and 70 hours of cutscenes. absolutely, I got to call you out, Todd. Absolutely insane that you would ever say that compared to Avowed or this, that you're complaining about story and gameplay. At least Xbox games let you play them, including Sony first party games, which are cutscene heavy as well. Todd, take a step back before I come over there and knock your ass out.
It also, Jose,
Take it back. Forza Horizon, Halo. Are you serious, Todd? I can't even believe you just said Psychonauts, dude.
Yeah.
I had to remind myself a
Unbased.
couple times if I didn't have Game Pass, that game's only set me back $40.
Yeah. I think the pricing is right on.
Exactly. So
I'm very bad at Todd right now. Todd, that was insane.
What,
I
Bacon?
can't believe it.
I said the $40 price tag tells you what you need to know about it. I mean,
Yeah.
and we're all okay with that. I'm there for the story because what I've heard about the combat, that's kind of it is just
Indiana Jones, Todd.
I thought you were getting mad at me, Dan. So I'm excited. I just can't play another game until I finish the game because I'm bad at it.
And Bacon, that's how I am most of the time with the story-based game. You know, Avowed was a little different, and this is, I mean, Todd did say that right afterward. He said,
Todd, you like playing Astrobot. What a great story in Astrobot, Todd. Game of the year. What a great story in Astrobot. Come,
Okay.
I'm leaving.
Dan's mad. That's fine.
Hey, Todd, we're hiring a new host.
You want
though,
to
if you
take
want.
over? Avowed did nail the gameplay. The gameplay loop in Avowed was so fun, and trying new weapons and respecking and all that. But I didn't love the story. And some of our friends did, like MK.
Hey, Todd, what about the story in Concord? Where was that? Todd.
He is really hurt right now.
Hey,
Dude, that's just I expect
PC
better
app.
from I'm calling, dude, Todd, that was one of the most insane comments can Xbox. Oh my God.
But the problem with Avowed was I just didn't love the story. Like at the end, I knew what the story was. I just wasn't compelled by it. Where this is kind of the opposite. And I shout out to, I think Diego said earlier, imagine if like they had the Devil May Cry version of like some combat, and this would be kind of dope, dude. So like I have a lot of hope for where this could go with Compulsion.
Or Final Fantasy 16 combat.
I think that Compulsion did a great job with the story.
Bacon?
They do need to marry some of that because anytime any game gets super repetitive,
Dude, look what Todd wrote. Concord was killed too. He's got to be trolling me. He's got to be trolling, right? This is a troll. Todd's
I feel
troll.
like Bacon had something to say.
Do we think that the combat choices had to do with the stop motion and how they chose to present it? Do we think that was a
No.
limitation?
No.
I think you guys are probably being too hard on the combat, is what I think. And I haven't played
Well,
it,
but I will add, and I'm not as far as Jose, but Nissa was adding it has to do with the story and the idea of fighting trauma. And if you've ever struggled with PTSD or any sort of trauma, be it direct or secondary, it makes sense that it's repetitive. And I know that might sound like a slog and it might sound boring in a
There's
video
something
game.
deeper to it. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like because
Okay.
you fight the
I see
same
that.
fight every day if you're struggling with mental health. It's the same fight over and over and over. And again, I can appreciate that and still not love that it doesn't evolve in a gameplay way.
well, and here's how I'll frame it, and then I'll stop talking because I've been talking about it a long time. So in the first couple of arenas, which is like, I know you guys know that because all the reviews talk about that you kind of go through the story, you explore, and then you get to a very, very visible.
Does it have arenas like Evil West?
Yes. Yeah.
Which was a game I'm
exactly-
pretty sure Todd liked. Just gonna put that out there too.
So you get to arenas, they're very visible. You know that they're coming. You
Where
can
was the
certainly
story that?
Okay, let him
It's a
go.
good story.
Let him finish.
It's you get there, and the first couple times, because you're getting new move sets, it does feel a little bit fresh. There's a couple new enemy types that get introduced. There's a couple new moves that get introduced. But then where I'm at now, I'm maxed out. And like even the skill tree, I'm almost maxed out on because I'm going exploring for the little floofs and stuff. And again, I'm not mad at it. It's just I can understand how Eric said in his review. By the time I got to the end of the game, I was just like, okay, another one. Okay, another one. And shout out to Compulsion, because they made the decision you can make it accessible where you just don't even do that. You get to the arenas, all the enemies die, and you move on because you want to hear the story. I think that's fine to do. I wanted this to be combat heavy because I like the style, and I didn't turn off stop motion. I haven't turned off any of the things. I like it. It
Do
reminds
you
me
not
of
feel like it
Spiders.
makes you like?
Yeah, I couldn't do the stop motion. I turned it off ASAP.
But here's the thing. I think some of you are just. I think I think you're because you said you feel like my computer's slow, so you have this thing that you want to hate it. I went into it with like I want to respect the style of the way these dudes made it, and it's cool, and I got used to it. And with HDR on, even with the stop motion, it is gorgeous, dude. Like I have some screenshots. I need to share them. They're amazing.
And I'm not saying I hate it. I'm just saying it's not for me, and so I turned it off right away. I literally just as I was in her house running around, I instinctually went to my keyboard to be like, what's my FPS at right now? Because something's, and then no, stop motion. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
And to be fair, I checked mine too. Oh yeah.
But I'm enjoying it. I'm definitely going to finish it. I'll let you know once I finish it what I think. But I think it's great, man. And I'm actually really grateful it's short because again, of where we're at in our timeline of games, I have so much I want to play. Other things I've been playing a lot of Warzone with the guys. Shout out to Eric. He jumped in for a game. Obviously,
yeah. Shout out Eric. We got a second with Eric. We should have won with him.
It's just fun, dude. Like it is again. It feels like that. It's like the feeling of when we were kids playing GoldenEye in the room together. It's not a GoldenEye, obviously, but like it feels like that, and it's just nice to get that break from work and that kind of stuff. And then the last thing I'll mention, I did go see the Minecraft movie. We took our daughters last weekend, opening weekend, to go see Minecraft, and honestly, like I did not have high expectations of that film. And I like Jack Black. It's not that at all. I just don't play Minecraft other than watching my daughters. I don't really get it. I didn't play it growing up. But I had a good time. Like I just enjoyed myself at the movies. My daughters were loving it. Like they were just smile ear to ear. And when they would see these references that were clearly from the game, they were like looking at each other across the theater and laughing. And, you know, if you watch any social media this week, the nation, there have been some crazy things. There was like a theater where a dude brought an actual chicken and there's a scene in the movie with a chicken and they're like holding him above their head and popcorn's flying everywhere. Like it just feels like a fun, it was a fun time, right? It was like, it's what I think movies are for. It's to go escape and have fun and like detach a little bit, which is important sometimes. So if you have small children in your life, even if they're nephews, even if they're, you know, like your coworkers are going with their friends with their children, go see it. It's definitely worth your time. It's not going to win awards. It shouldn't, right? But it's definitely a fun time. It has a great message to children about like, don't lose creativity because people out there suck. And that is true, right? And I can tell you as a content creator, a very small one, you know, a lot of our friends are the same way. It's very easy for people to throw salt. It's a lot harder to be complimentary and to like be constructive. And I think this has a good message about that in the end. So shout out to Jack Black. I'm glad they're making lots and lots of money. I'm sure they're going to make a sequel. But it was fun, man. It was real fun.
Still thinking about Todd's insane comments. Hey, Todd, you still haven't responded.
Christ.
Where's Astrobot's story, Todd? You still haven't responded to that.
Finally installed for him, so.
Tell me a PlayStation game that nails combat and gameplay. That does a good job balancing.
Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah.
Nope.
God of War?
Nope.
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man might be the only one. Spider-Man. God of War is just as bad. It's just as bad as going into arenas. You go to one area, enemies spawn and you fight them. You go to a boss, you go and fight them. It's very similar to Evil Dead. I've played both games. Got the platinum, or didn't get the platinum. Quit on the platinum because you get. I will give you Spider-Man. That's the only game I would say PlayStation does a good job with story and combat.
South of Midnight will get
Ghost. You can't skip cutscenes, and the side stories are fucking stupid. I'm sorry, they are, and you can't skip freaking dialogue. You have to watch everything, and that game is way too big too. You're just going through empty fields for half the game. Go ahead.
South of Midnight will get Game of the Year because it has the #1 greatest game mechanic of all time.
A dash?
It has a couple, not a ton.
It has more than one.
Shimmying and 25, huh?
We're shimmying through faces.
I'm not saying God of War isn't a better overall game than South of Midnight, but I have a lot of issues with God of War's pacing. Oh, it doesn't have shimmying. Oh, okay, you're right.
It does have shimmying and lots of it.
Oh god,
maybe not lots, but too much.
I'll just go quick because I'm still playing that boring ass Final Fantasy 16. Nothing else to say. The game is not a game; it's a movie. I finally got to a cool part chance where you get a ship and there was some action. That was cool.
Wait till you get to the final boss because
that was
6 hours long.
That was about 25 minutes of fun, and then I went back to cutscenes. See, Chance is nodding his head. He's like, "Yep, that's."
I enjoyed it though. I like movies. I like video games.
And then there was a cool part with Jill where you're naked on a beach. I mean, that was cool because I got to almost see a naked Jill. It's
sweet.
I don't Anyway, I won't talk about that boring ass game anymore. I do want to say, what have we been watching? Allie and I watched The Last of Us season 1. She had never seen it, and I sent out a hot, I need a hot, juicy take, Jose,
Oh, gotcha. Sorry.
on The Last of Us season 1. We're gonna call her in case you guys didn't see my powerful tweet.
She's wrong, but go ahead and
No,
bring
she's
her on.
not.
She's
Bring her
probably
on
not
the
gonna
show.
answer. Why are you calling me? I don't want to be on your
Doing my
stupid
skincare
show.
routine.
Stupid show.
Are you guys still doing your stupid show together?
Yeah, are you still doing that pod? Are you
You guys
sure?
are
You
adults talking about video games.
Okay, she's ignoring me. Basically, I asked her immediately. Uncharted 2, I'd give you
Ooh,
that too.
Uncharted 2.
I'd say Uncharted, yeah, that would be the other one.
That's a good one.
Even then, arenas and very repetitive combat. Let's be real, guys. How did that gameplay evolve at all, Bubble Boy, in Uncharted?
From 2 to 3, it did.
No, just in general, the games.
Well,
Besides cool cinematic scenes where you're like being dragged by a car and shooting, what does that game do gameplay wise? That's cool.
didn't.
Exactly. Thank you. So we watched The Last of Us, and I recorded Allie right at the end, seeing Joel's decision at the end, and I asked her. No, she didn't. She ignored me. I asked Allie, "What did you think of Joel's decision?" And no, I didn't, give her any kind of hint. I just wanted to hear her clear thoughts. Exactly. She said it was incredibly selfish, and she couldn't believe that Joel sacrificed the world for one person. And then I threw it back at her. I'm like, "What if it was Maddie or Brookie or Grayson?" And she's like, "Well, I don't want to think about that."
Exactly.
But that's not the situation that Joel was in.
It is.
She said if she was Joel, it was incredibly selfish. I was so proud of my wife. She is based. I love her so much. She right away was like, what Joel did was messed up. And I am so sick and tired of hearing this copium. Oh, how do they know the cure would have worked? Neil Druckmann has said numerous times the cure would have worked. He co-created it. He would have made it canon. It was going to work. Get over it. Quit saying, oh, well, I don't actually know if that would really happen. Well, how would you know it would have worked? So I don't want to hear anything about the cure not working. Go ahead, Bacon. No spoilers.
So, okay, I'll meet you halfway and I'll say, hey, Joel was very selfish. What would happen if Ellie never woke up? And would she sit there and say, wow, that was very selfish of them guys just to kill my ass on a hopes of a cure?
Bacon and I, Bacon and I,
want this.
Exactly. Bacon and I came to an agreement. We were off on, whether or not Joel should have saved her, but we both agreed that the Fireflies should have presented this to Ellie. And we both agreed that Ellie would have said yes. Absolutely. So I agree. The Fireflies, they're not in the clear either. They should have offered and explained what was going to happen to her. It should have been Ellie's choice, not Joel's. That's why he is selfish. He took that away from her. Then he lied to her. Abby is based. We're going to stop this because everybody goes crazy about this. I've already seen the chat go popping up. Oh, Dan, how do you do this? Do you not have kids? Shut the. I have 3.
Great.
And if I was in Joel's decision, I wouldn't sacrifice the world for my fake adopted daughter who wasn't even an adopted daughter.
Yeah,
I would have told her the situation and let her make her own choice. Thank you. Jose, we got to get out of here. Let's close the show like we always do with the best food we had this week. I'll go quickly because did you add a Chipotle burrito for me, Jose?
I did not. I was looking for the sound clip. I don't know where I put it. My bad.
The best food we had this week.
Yeah, I don't know where it's at. Keep going.
It's like there's a part of my mouth and everyone's invited.
Thank you, Bubble Boy. Yeah, I had Chipotle, so please add one of those to the list. And besides that, Allie's been cooking amazing home-cooked meals the past 2 nights because her parents are in town, and she likes to show off when the parents are in town. So I had pork chops tonight. We had spaghetti and meatballs the other night. Both delicious. Shout out to my wife. Amazing food. Bubble Boy, what about you?
We went to a place called Black House Tavern in Parker. There's also one, I want to say in Littleton, maybe. Yeah. And it's I think family owned because there's just a couple of them. Absolutely fantastic food. I got just their normal burger that had all kinds of bacon, grilled onions, and garlic aioli. It was incredible. fried pickles. It was fantastic. So Black House Tavern in Parker, also one in Littleton.
Bacon.
So last night the wife made homemade pizza. It's for the first real attempt. Got some dough from King Supers, made it up. I'm gonna rank it way above Papa Murphy's. I'm also gonna rank it above Little Caesars, but not quite. It's a good change. So we got some work to do, but we'll get it. It was actually pretty easy to make, pretty tasty. And then the wife's got this real big infatuation with Vietnamese food. She just loves it, eats it like no one's business.
Like pho?
No, like real Vietnamese with like the noodles. And
rice, vermicelli rice noodle bowls.
I like the beef.
That's pho.
Just the weird texture of the noodles. Isn't pho like a soup?
Pho's the soup.
Pho's the noodles and the soup.
Pho's the soup.
Yeah.
Every time we go to pho, I never get pho. I get vermicelli rice noodle bowl, and it's not.
It's probably the same thing. It's like the white noodles, and they're like not.
Jose, it's not soup.
It's not like a noodle texture.
And you can get
but
the egg roll on the top, and either chicken or steak. I always get all of it.
Steak's pretty good. So it's pretty good. I let her indulge because it's not my thing, but I'll eat it. But they had really good crab cheese wontons. So,
love crab cheese wontons.
I'm with Todd. I feel like I'm taking crazy.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Pho is the
what
noodle
you guys are
and the
talking
broth.
about?
but isn't it in a soup form?
It's soup.
Pho's a soup, right?
Yeah,
Well, it's
I'm talking
noodles and
about
broth in a bowl with some kind of like usually a
what
protein.
we're talking about.
Okay, we're talking about this way too much. I gotta cut this off. Todd Oxtra said Thai red curry with scallops and pineapple. That does sound good, minus the pineapple. Dan, I hate and describes every modern triple game. No, Joe, you're mistaken. You said earlier, look at this guy complaining about story games, boring arenas, and is hyped for Gears and Halo. No, I didn't complain about those. Todd was complaining about them, and Todd is the one who thinks Xbox can't make a balanced game. So call out Todd. Jose, what was the best food you had?
Thanks.
We went to Adelitas again. That Mexican.
Adelitas Alina.
I did a chimichurri. Oh my god. It was good. Not as good as the torta. It was very good, but excited to try more stuff from there. Yeah, rompe. But also the best was tonight. I made breakfast for dinner. We did peanut butter and brown sugar French toast, which was very good. Highly recommend. Very easy to make.
Sounds good.
Mess with your French toast a lot, I've noticed.
Well, yeah, that actually is true. We talk about it for you, but honestly, it's because we remember we don't eat a lot of red meat in the house, so that limits some of our other stuff. But easy to do some of the pastry stuff, and then also just very quickly, I won't speak too much on it, but I did get through all the sunflower seed flavors. It took a while.
Do you have the ranking?
I have the ranking right.
Hold on, before you get into that.
Breaking news.
Xbox game that has gameplay and great story. Todd wouldn't know because he didn't finish the main campaign. Starfield, great gameplay mechanics all around, combat, ship fighting, and the main campaign story was excellent. Okay, Jose, let's get this breaking
exclusive world premiere.
Breaking news. Jose is going to rank all of the sunflower seed flavors that were provided, #ad, provided from, I don't even remember the name of it. Smackin' Seeds.
And they pulled their
yeah, still
Let's hear it.
Still not sponsored. I'm shocked. So there were, I think it was 11 flavors. Number one, anybody want to guess?
No, you got to go 11 to 1. 11 to 1. Yeah, what are you doing?
So this one was a surprise. I
Last place.
More.
Lemon pepper.
Sour cream and onion. I really thought I was going to like it more.
Really? 11?
Somebody screenshot all three of our reactions.
Yeah, it shows back like I punched you in the face. No, here's the thing. It doesn't taste like the Lay's chips, which is I think what I was expecting, and it's nothing like that. And so it was not a flavor that I was thrilled about. And I should have
Jose, by the way, you're gonna have to make it short. You're gonna have to make a lot of edits.
Oh, I know. All of them are good. None of them I was like, I don't want any more of these bags. I will eat all of them. It just was the lowest on the list. So I'm going to read them relatively quickly so I can make a short and then we can discuss. Number 11, sour cream and onion. 10, lemon pepper.
I thought so.
9, backyard barbecue. 8, plain.
Let's let him finish.
7, ranch. 6, cracked pepper. 5, maple brown sugar. 4, churro. 3, jalapeno cheddar. 2, garlic parmesan. And number 1 for me was dill pickle.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, Dan. Yeah, Dan doesn't like pickles, which is fine. I'm sure your taste may be different.
I like a good pickle. on the side of my sandwich, but I don't want that crap on everything else.
What an idiot.
Joe said something dumb in chat.
Astrobot, yeah, exactly. Yeah, great story in there. Go around collecting Astromen, cool. From other Sony IP, what a great story.
But it was very good, man. I've been eating them every night when we play games. And here's the thing: we're all getting older. We all hit 40 very recently, and while I'm certainly not doing everything that I possibly could to be like being healthy, for sure. If you listen to this show,
just keeps it coming.
I know that one of my biggest issues is that when I game late at night, especially when I'm up late, I get hungry and I like want a snack. And since I've been doing the sunflower seeds, they have like 240 calories a pack. They're not very bad in that regard. They curb that craving, like just because I'm doing something with my hands and I'm eating something and drinking water and stuff. Dan's holding up sweet and spicy. I'm not saying they're bad. Dan's problem is
David King.
That's the Nintendo Switch's seeds, Dan.
Ooh.
David?
I mean,
Have you tried these? Bacon, have you tried this flavor?
Yeah. Have you tried any of mine?
Exactly.
You haven't.
You can't
Got a PS fanboy in the chat with seeds.
Let's all order the bucket of seeds and we'll compare our favorites.
actually,
I will actually eat that many seeds.
You should.
I'll fit
Absolutely.
all the seeds into the bucket.
Jose, I agree with you about eating the seeds when you game because I do the same thing. But here's what I've noticed: this is a lot of sodium. Let's be real. Probably not the best for us. And I think these give me bad gas too.
Everything gives you
Sunflower
gas.
seeds or whatever they use in the flavoring.
hashtag
And,
with
and
it.
here's the thing: these don't. Like that's what I've really liked about them is they are part of what they claim is that they're bigger seeds and you don't get the burn, is what they call it, from like the sodium. I shout out to them. And again, if you don't like seeds, don't get these for sure. Like that, why would you buy sunflower seeds if you don't like them? But I've been enjoying them quite a bit. They're a great snack for gaming. They don't make a big mess or anything like that. So shout out to Smack and thank you for making some delicious seeds. That has been what I had this week. Lots of good food, man.
All right, gentlemen, this
That's
has been
It's a
the
variety
Nerd
pack, Chapo.
Chat
I'll send it to you.
episode. What is this?
206.
206. Switch to pre-orders. Go dark. My name is Daddy Duwally. You can follow me at Daddy Duwally across all social media. You can follow the show at the Nerd Chat Podcast everywhere. Blowing up on TikTok. Blowing up on Blue Sky. I don't know what the hell it is over there. Jose, where can people find you?
You can find me Chipotle Bear everywhere. Thank you everybody for listening. Again, go listen to our friends' shows. They've been having some really great shows recently. And
Wait. Don't listen to PS Trophy Room. They just troll. So you don't go there. They're bad community over there. Go ahead. Jose.
But if you wouldn't mind, if you're on TikTok, give us a follow. We'd appreciate it. Same thing on YouTube. We're at 373 subscribers, man. We're close to that 400 mark.
Shorts are popping off, Jose.
And so we're trying to get to that 500 to do some fun stuff, and of course get Dan to those JBCs with all of his friends. I also want to we didn't do GG's and Permaban this week, but just very quickly want to shout out my new buddy at work, Jeff, who has been listening to our show. Nell knows him. I took him some stickers the other day. He literally walked into my office today unprovoked, and he had like a very serious walk, and I was like, oh God, what's wrong? And he walked in and held this up to me, and he was like, this is the single greatest sticker that I have ever seen in my entire life. And he went on like a 10-minute diatribe of like how much he loves Mass Effect, and he's been playing in front of his mom, and his mom is loving the characters. And I just want to give a shout out to Jeff. I'm going to take him the Morden sticker. He was super pumped. So thanks, Jeff, for listening, man. We appreciate it, bud.
Bacon, where can people find you in the Twitter streets?
You can find me on Twitter, continuing the console war as always, but you can find me in Spider-Man 2 doing side missions. Aren't good. But the game is great, but the side missions aren't good.
Talk about great gameplay and story, am I right, Bacon? Bubble Boy, where can people find you?
Continuing to perfect my cappuccino recipe with my new espresso maker. And over on the Blue Sky too, where we're getting big, we've been attempted to be catfished like 4 or 5 times. So now that once we crossed 1,000,
is that Indian girl messaging you too?
No, it was a guy who claimed to be from England, but texting me at what would have been like 4 o'clock in the morning there. And I was like, I don't think so. You're up at 4 a.m.? I don't think so.
Can't hustle a hustler.
Shout out to Emotionless Taco. What a great name. As always, lovers of good
Sunflower
gameplay balanced with great story, as in all PlayStation games and Xbox could never make a game that good.
Lovers.
See you online.
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 But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
Who's this?
That's how winning is done.
Hockey.
Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you.
The Nerd Chat is an Xbox podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. You can follow the show at the Nerd Chat Podcast across all social media. The show was created by Daniel Walenzik, and you can follow him at Daddy D. Wally. Co-host and producer Jose Martinez III can be found at Chipotle_bear. Former intern, now co-host Jason Jarrett can be found at XBaconGaming. And former co-host, now returning intern, Chance Siegel can be found at BubbleBoyN7. If you'd like to find out more about the show, please visit nerdchatmedia.com. And as always, see you online.